This has been a bad day for retailing in the UK. Tesco has announced one of its worst trading performances in decades. Jonathan, you've argued that this is a sign of the decline of the Roman Empire, at least the Roman Empire of British retailing. Justify yourself.
Well, I think it's a reasonable view to have. If you look at what happened, Sir Jack Cohen, he was Augustus. He created this tremendous behemoth from the ground up almost. Then we had Sir Terry Leahy, he's Trajan, taking the empire to the furthest boundaries that you can imagine. And now we have Phil Clark, very good detail guy, very good retailer, but really he's managing decline. And I think if we look at the stock price, you can see what I'm talking about.
It looks pretty disastrous, but frankly, this is not the end of Tesco. This is still the UK's biggest retailer. It's far and ahead its competitors in terms of market share. It's faced struggles in the past. I mean, Tesco, retail is all about reinvention. Tesco was a leader of reinvention through all the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, but follow the trend through. Think about the momentum. What's really needed here is someone to come in with a fresh pair of eyes, someone who's a strategist. We need a Constantine who's going to remake the franchise. I don't think Mr. Clark is that man. And, you know, think about all the things that Tesco's in. It owns a garden centre chain. What's Mr. Clark's plan? Is he going to dig for victory here?
I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you that it needs new vision. I think that is exactly what Tesco needs. But this is a much bigger problem than just one man. I think it's actually a question of, again, I come back to the point about reinvention. You get nowhere if you don't constantly reinvent yourself. Customers' demands are changing, their tastes are changing, and you've got competitors out there like the hard discounters who are reinventing themselves at the same time.
Indeed, and one thing that Tesco could arguably do under its Constantine is to break itself up, to split into segments, to take on the discounters in the middle market under one name and perhaps spin off hypermarkets if those aren't working. Essentially, Mr. Clark said that that is a business that is becoming obsolete due to the internet, into some sort of run-off vehicle, and maybe have a convenience stores business below that.
Well, where's the value for shareholders? There is a cost to all this. This is wonderful in a fantasy land of we can actually separate this into a bad bank and actually have the attractive bit over here. But at the end of the day, someone's got to pay for this, and it will be Tesco shareholders. Far better that actually they benefit in the recovery of this group. You can actually, this is a company that has some of the best assets in the UK. It can actually leverage with a new vision for that strategy, for that retailer. It can actually leverage these assets. Tesco still has a lot of advantages compared to other retailers. For example, the hard discounters, some of them don't take credit cards. Tesco does. It's got a wider range. It's just a question of getting its pricing and its value right, and that's where its problem has been. While the others have improved their quality, it's remained complacent.
I don't agree. I think it's too big. I think it's too confused. I think that you need a Constantine, and I think you need to think the unthinkable.
Well, thank you very much, Jonathan. I think we'll have to agree to disagree on most of those points, but it's been a fascinating debate. Thank you.
Thanks.